Word to your mother, boys and girls. It's your boy Sniper Wes coming at you here from playerprofit.com on Saturday, April 12th, 2025. I'm going to give you guys 3 free plays, 2 of them in hockey, 1 of them in Major League Baseball because there's no NBA today. But I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about player profit and how it can benefit you if you want to bet on sports with a lot of money, but only having to put up a little bit of money, right? Sounds like a good deal. And it is a good deal. It's a fantastic opportunity for you. Basically, you get to play with leverage. So here, I'm going to show you guys how it works, and I'm going to give you 3 free plays, and we're actually going to bet them together on this video so I can kind of show you around the website and show you how this whole process works. So this is the front page, right? You are going to have to sign in, username and password, create an account, right? And so here are the challenges you get to choose from. You can choose from the standard or the pro. I'd recommend the standard. I'd recommend just starting with a $1,000 bankroll just so you can kind of get used to the system. It only costs you $30 to get in, right, on the ground floor. $30 gets you $1,000 to play with. If you really want to go balls to the wall, you can. I mean, you can get a $100,000 account. It costs you, $1,000 here to get $100,000 in leverage. If I were you, I would just start out small just to understand the system and how it works because there are some restrictions, right? Like, for example, if you do the $1,000 leverage account, you cannot lose more than 10% in a day, meaning you can't lose more than $100 on any given day. Say you're up $500, so this account's at $1,500, but let's say you lose $100 the next day and it goes down to $1,400. Even though you're up on the account, technically, you lost $100 in a day, and that's a no-no. You cannot lose more than $100 in a day, or the account goes void, okay? Also, you are trying to, well, the max drawdown is 15% too, so that's $150. So you cannot let the account fall below $850, okay? That's rule number 2. The good news is we only have to achieve 20% profit target here on $1,000, which is $200. So once you get this account to $1,200, after your 20 picks, you have 20 picks to achieve it, that goal of getting to $1,200. Then you would move on to phase 2, right? And then in phase 2, you do it again, and then you are funded with this full $1,000, and you are free to play with it, and you can cash it all out for 70% above the original account balance at any time. I know that's a lot of information I just threw at you, but we'll go ahead and get to some free picks. It's pretty simple. Once you sign up and you kind of get rolling with it, you'll get the concept. It's just you have to have bankroll management. You can't be doing big parlays. You're going to get wiped out in the first day. I'm telling you, you can't do that. You have to treat this like a professional sports bettor. You have to be calculated, and you have to do straight bets. Don't do parlays here. I'm telling you, you're going to get wiped out. And, bet like a professional sports bettor would, because that's what player profit wants to see. They want to see that you are a professional sports bettor if they're going to front you all this money to play, right? You guys with me on that? Thank you. Okay. So let's go ahead and make some bets here. So I'm going to click sign in, and I'm going to go to picks. I'm going to start in LA with the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers. I am taking over 8.5 runs here between these two teams. So the reason I'm taking the over, Roki Sasaki's pitching for the Dodgers. If you remember, he pitched against the Cubs in Tokyo. So the Cubs have already had a little bit of a look at him, and that always favors the hitters to face the same pitcher the second time around. He only pitched for 3 innings against them, but he's not pitching all that great. His whip is over 2, his ERA is over 4. So, and the Cubs are swinging very hot bats right now too. So I'm taking the Chicago Cubs and the Dodgers. Not to mention the fact that Dodgers, they can go for, over 8 runs on any given night. And Ben Brown, the Cubs pitcher, his numbers are terrible. 7.20 ERA, 2.23 whip, something like that. So give me the over here. 8.5 runs between the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm going to bet $50. The reason I'm only betting 50 is because that's my max bet. With a $1,000 account, your maximum bet is $50. Our return is going to be $41. It's going to ask me which package just because I have multiple packages. And I am going to place my pick right now. Boom, bet placed successfully. So, now we move on. We are going to move on to the National Hockey League. And I like a couple plays here. These are going to be your final 2 plays. I like we'll start with this one. So we have the Predators and the Golden Knights. I like the under here, okay? The reason I like the under, the Predators, they cannot score. They are the worst offense in the National Hockey League. They score less than 2.5 goals per game, which is pretty pathetic. And the Vegas Golden Knights, they are the best. Well, they're not the best. I think they're the number 5 ranked defense in the league. as it relates to goals per game allowed. Very, very good defense. And Nashville, they just have trouble scoring. So I think it's going to be a defensive-minded contest. I'm going to take the under. In fact, this is at 5.5. A lot of different books, but we get it at 6 here. So, worst case scenario, we got to push it on a 4-2 type of game. So, give me the under between the Predators and the Golden Knights. $50 to return $41.50. I am going to, hold on, I have to select my package and place bet. Okay, so now we move on again. We have one more play on this video. I'm taking the Minnesota Wild here over the Vancouver Canucks. So the Wild, they just got beat by the Calgary Flames last night. It was kind of embarrassing because they were down 3-0. They needed this game too because they're duking it out with the St. Louis Blues for the last playoff seed in the West. So they really needed that game, and they got dominated. It was 3-0 all the way till late in the third, and then it wound up finishing 4-2. But that game was not as close as it seemed. I mean, Calgary dominated that game all the way until about 5 minutes left in the game. So my point is, Minnesota's going to be furious about that. They are going to want to come back. They are going to want to beat Vancouver. Vancouver's not going to make the playoffs. They're back too many points. I think they're back 5 or 6 points behind the 8th seed. So I like Minnesota here. I think they're going to bounce back after that embarrassing loss. They need the game too. They need it bad. They want to supersede St. Louis in the standings. So I'm going to bet $50 on the Minnesota Wild to beat the Vancouver Canucks. Select my package, and I'm going to place my pick. All my bets are in, and that is how it basically works, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that makes sense. Here's your challenge board again. I'll just kind of go over it with you again. So you have a $1,000 account, costs you $30 to get in. That's it. You get $1,000 to play with. You pay $30. You just got to show them you know what you're doing. Pass phase 1, pass phase 2, and you get funded. You get to keep 70% of the winnings. It's simple stuff. So my name is Sniper Wes. By the way, you can get 10% off of this package. I know on $29, it's only like $3, but if you were to get a bigger package, say you wanted to get a $5,000 package, you get 20% off of $124. That's like $20 off or a little more than that, right? So you get 10% off if you use the link in the bio below, which I will put in the comment section. And once again, I am Sniper Wes, and you can find me over on Twitter at the Sniper Picks. And I hope all 3 plays cash for you guys, and I'll be back tomorrow with some more free plays. And until then, peace out and keep firing.